What is up, everybody? Good Thursday morning. It is a beautiful, beautiful day here in Montana. The clouds are thick. It's a balmy 36 degrees, but it is absolutely beautiful. I could not ask for a better place to live. I am so blessed and so happy to be here this wonderful Thursday morning. I hope everybody is doing well. Thank you for joining us on HNR live streams. We're going to be talking about dancing. We're going to be talking about Monday or Thursday night football. We're going to be talking about a little bit of it all. Let's get started and have some fun. I hope everybody's doing great. If this is your first time to HNR, be sure to like, share, and subscribe. Let us know what you think. But most of all, be sure to share. Let people know that we're out there. We'll be taking any questions that you do give in the live chat, as well as anything on Twitter. Look down in the description below. You'll see our Twitter and Facebook information. Our Skype information is in the description below as well. So let's go ahead and get started with a little bit of Thursday night football right after this. All right, everybody, welcome to the live stream. Today we have a special guest to talk about the Seahawks 49ers game. This man has probably forgot more about the Seahawks than I will ever know. I would like to introduce you to my good friend and buddy down in Arizona, Ragin Eskimo. Ragin Eskimo, are you there?
Yep, I'm here.
All right, brother. Let's talk a little bit of Seahawks football. And then we'll get into the game tonight, what you predict and how you think it's going to go. What is up with the Seahawks this year, man? What's bugging you about them?
What's bugging me about them is the fact that they can't seem to finish a game this year. And that's probably the biggest thing, is that fourth quarter, for some reason, something changes with them. I mean, that's one of them. I mean, but you look at the whole game from start to finish, is our O-line needs a lot of work. Wilson's does not have the time he needs to do what he needs to do. Those are the two biggest key points right now that they've got to do something with.
Okay, let me ask you this, because I've been watching the Seahawks games, and it seems like they're trying to make Russell Wilson more into a pocket passer and less into the scrambler that he was in the years before. What do you think about that?
I don't really agree with that. You look at his passing yards; he's actually above average, or for his rushing yards, he's actually above average from where he was last year on the total rushing yards. But again, that's not necessarily because he wants to do it. It's because he's needing to do it because of the fact the O-line is not giving him a pocket to stay in. They can say they want to make him a pocket passer all they want. You've got to have an O-line in order to keep a pocket there for him to stay in.
Well, yeah, I mean, I would say that is his only saving grace is that the fact that he has some legs, he has some wheels underneath him, he's able to avoid sacks and turn negative plays into positives. I would agree with that. I'm just wondering, are they trying to transform him into a pocket passer, even though there's a lack of an offensive line for him to be that?
I mean, ideally, you want a pocket passer. I mean, you want an O-line that's going to protect your quarterback and give him a pocket to stand in and be able to look and get a read across the field the way he wants and be able to throw the ball. I mean, you look at the majority of his runs, he's outside that pocket scrambling, and then he makes those passes. And his accuracy rating is, he's nearly at 70% for the season right now. That's a dang good passing percentage, for any quarterback.
Yeah, well, I agree with that. It just seems like he's not doing as many of those plays like he used to, though. I mean, all the ones that he's doing right now is because he's under pressure, because he starts out trying to stay in the pocket and then he has to scramble. It seemed to me like in the years before that he was doing a lot more scrambling right off and still making those passes. What do you think about that?
I don't know about that take on it. The problem you've got right now is Marshawn's been banged up this season already. You don't have your definitive running back that you can sit there in that pocket and make that decision whether you're going to run or pass it off of that ball. He's had to rely on Rawls. Now, Rawls has stepped up. I've actually been very happy with what Rawls has done coming in and replacing Lynch while he gets healthy. So I don't buy the premise that they're trying to make him a pocket passer. That's not who Russell Wilson is. And they're not going to try to change him to become one of those until it's time for him physically to have to become a pocket passer.
Okay, that makes sense. That makes sense. Perfect. Okay, let's move on to the second part of that and the defense. Now, I have some statistics here. For the first through the third quarters, we have points per game. They're ranked number third in the league. Total yards per game, third in the league. Pass yards per game, they're fourth in the league. But that's through the first through third quarters. And then in the fourth quarter, they're the 28th in all three of those. What is up with the defense right now?
I don't know. That's the whole. To me, it seems like in the fourth quarter they play a more preventive defense. They set back a little bit, and all of a sudden these short routes start popping up for the offensive side of the ball, and they just start beating them on these short routes. Quick 5 to 10 yard freaking pass all of a sudden turns into 15 to 20 because they're playing so deep on them. I don't. Even Pete Carroll has come out and said, "We've looked at the tape. We don't know what's going on. They don't know what they need to fix." To me, watching it, it just seems like they start playing a lot softer than they do in the quarters 1 through 3. I don't get it.
Okay, so do you think they're playing more aggressive in the first three quarters, getting a lead, and then sitting back trying to protect the lead?
Yeah, I think that's what they're doing. I think they're trying to play protection of the lead versus, it's almost the same thing that happened during the NFC Championship game last year against Green Bay. Green Bay went into that last few minutes thinking, we've got the lead. There's no way they can come back and win because we already got the lead. And look what happened to them. And it seems like that's what Seattle's doing the entire fourth quarter of every game. They're playing this preventive defense versus their normal style aggressive defense.
Okay, that makes sense. How do you think that the holdout that Cam Chancellor did earlier in the season affected the defense and how they're gelling together?
I believe it cost us the first two games.
Okay.
I mean, that's my take on it. I mean, because Earl Thomas does not play the same if Cam Chancellor's not there, and he's flat out said that. He's not the same person if Cam is not in the game. And I think that goes across the entire LOB. When you're missing one of those cogs, nobody plays the same way. I think that Cam's holdout definitely cost us the first two games. I mean, because none of our games have been blowouts.
Okay.
They've all been down to the wire freaking games. You get everybody clicking the way they're supposed to, those games are done. But I don't think it has an effect now in the game. With Cam Chancellor back, he got right back into the groove. He stayed healthy the entire time. He was still doing all his training camp training, so he came back into the game fully ready, fully prepared. So I don't think it's now having an effect, but I definitely believe it did have an effect on those first two games.
Okay, good. Well, I just have been really surprised with the Seahawks here recently. It just doesn't seem like the Seahawks of last year or even the year before, And
no, there's something not clicking right now, and it's fine, like I said, for the first three quarters, but then something changes in their mindset in that fourth quarter that you look at this last week's game, Earl and Sherman miscommunicated. That's all it was. It was a miscommunication between Earl and Sherman. They both thought they had him covered, yet the other person had him covered. I mean, you can see it. As soon as he caught that touchdown, they both looked at each other and go, "What? You were supposed to have it. No, you were."
Yeah.
So, and I think a lot of that, you could say, well, most teams, well, you got brand new people back there and stuff, but that's not the case with Seattle. These guys have been together for years. So I don't know. And like I said, Pete Carroll's flat out said, we don't know what's going on in the fourth quarter.
Okay.
They've reviewed the tapes. They've looked at it. No clue.
So Pete Carroll thinks that they're playing good defense. It's just they're not sure what's going on and why they're. Do you think it's the play calls themselves, the defensive coordinator's problem, or?
You could say, I mean, yeah, you can make that argument, but then why is there such a drastic difference between the first quarter through 1 through 3, and then just a change in the fourth quarter where you're sitting there just watching them just all the quarterbacks just start picking them apart. You know, they're I don't understand how they do it. I mean, you watch Cam Chancellor put the smack down, Earl Thomas flying in, you know, blocking balls out of nowhere for 3 quarters, and all of a sudden these short to mid passes are just all there, and they turn them in because they're playing so soft. They add 5 to 10 to 15 more yards on every pass that they're giving up. I
Yeah.
don't get it.
Well, does it have anything to do with the defensive line? Are they not getting as much pressure on the quarterback in the fourth quarter? What do you think? I mean,
Um, well, I mean, you look. I mean, no matter what, Seattle's defense plays physical, aggressive ball for the entire game. At a certain point, bodies start to give out. You know, so you could say that maybe the fourth quarter they're starting to get tired, but that's not the Seattle defense. I mean, they can play all the way to the end of the game. We've seen that time and time again. Yeah, we got some new people on the line. Bobby Wagner's out. You know, he got injured. That has a huge effect on the defense. I mean, he's the leader of the defense. Without him out there, you know, that changes the dynamics. Same as Cam Chancellor not being out there. You miss any of those cogs, things are going to change. You know, they're not going to
yeah.
play the way they normally play.
Well, I mean, the argument could be made too that the offensive line that the defense is going up against too is just as tired. So you can't really say that the gameplay is affected by that. I mean, it's everything.
Yeah.
Now let's move along from the defense and back to the offense. Do you? I've yet to really see any beast mode, and I know that he's been banged up and having some problems. Is that directly related to the O line? I mean, because he's always been a powerful regardless of what's going on. And do you think his injuries and his being banged up really stems from that O line?
I mean, well, Russell Wilson's a tank. I mean, not Russell, but I mean, Marshawn Lynch, he's a tank. I mean, and he can run through bodies, and, you know, doesn't matter to him. He's going to take injuries. But the problem is the offensive pass rush is stopping him at the at the start point. They're not giving him time to find the holes. They're not creating the holes for him. It all boils down to that O line and the protection they give to the running backs and to the quarterbacks. They're just not doing it. I mean, that is the weakest point of our team is that O line and the protection they provide, one, to Marshawn and to Russell Wilson. You don't create the holes. Marshawn can only do so much. Yeah, he's still powering for 2-3 yards, but there was no hole to begin with.
Yeah.
You know, they're getting overpowered. They're not stopping people. They're not picking up the blitzes. Wilson's been sacked way more this time right now than he has almost the last 2 seasons.
Yeah.
It just doesn't. Pete Carroll's got to do something with that O line because it's just not there.
Yeah, okay. Now, let's talk about the game coming up tonight versus the 49ers. Obviously, they're struggling as well. Yeah, I know you hate the 49ers. They're struggling as well on all fronts. Terrible pass defense. Their offense is just struggling hardcore. What do you see coming out of the game tonight?
I hope to see Seattle's defense pick apart Kaepernick as they normally do. I can't stand Kaepernick at all. I believe that man has an ego on his that he wears out there on the field, and it's come back to bite him now. And I'm glad to see that. But his accuracy is just completely trash. And when you go into a game against Seattle with a bad accuracy and bad throwing choices, you're going to get tore apart. Now, they do got home field advantage, which always seems to make a little bit of a difference, but even then they've lost at home. So it's not that much of a deal. I don't know how that game's going to turn out tonight because, one, I can't trust Seattle to finish the game.
Yeah.
And the 49ers have the ability. They've got the bodies there. But I just don't think they can put it together. I think Seattle's going to win because Seattle is still a good road team.
Yeah.
Yeah, they haven't been this year, but, I mean, overall they are still a fairly good road team. They went into St. Louis and took them to overtime, and that's always a hard game to do. So I don't know. I don't know how tonight's game will go. Unfortunately, I'm not going to be able to watch tonight's game until, like, tomorrow, which really blows. But, yeah.
Well, I'll give you updates. How about that?
Yeah, well, I'll have my phone with me. But
okay.
San Francisco, to me, is so disorganized right now with the amount of people that they lost over the off season, with free trades, with retirements. They lost to their head coach. But, again, keeping the head coach there with all the conflict that was causing.
Yeah.
That team's a complete disarray. I said from the very beginning, I expect to see them last in the NFC West, and that's exactly what's happening, just
Okay.
based off the personnel changes they've had.
So, do you see any pick six coming out of the Seattle secondary tonight?
Oh, I can see a pick six coming out of it. I mean, just because of if you get Kaepernick scrambling, if he goes and throws that ball versus trying to run down the field, he's going to throw some picks. I mean, I could see probably 2 picks coming off of him tonight at a minimum, just because of the way these two teams play each other. I mean, Seattle knows Kaepernick very, very well. And if he tries to go to Sherman's side, Sherman's going to do everything in his power to snag that ball again.
Okay.
So
That's good.
Sherman has Kaepernick's number. And for some reason, especially when it comes down to like the final part of the game, Kaepernick always seems to want to go to Sherman's side at the end of the game. For some reason, he does it every time, and he loses it every time.
Okay, now how about the defensive line against Seattle's offensive line? Do you think that they'll be able to control them a little better, since how they're fairly low ranked as well on
Yeah,
the rush?
I can see Seattle's defense doing fairly well tonight. I still see them struggling. It's just not as bad as they have been.
Okay.
I think it'll be one of their better nights. I can see it. With the San Francisco game, it's either going to be an extremely low-scoring game, like 9-12, or it's going to be a blowout.
Okay.
You never know which teams are going to show up when it comes into these games, just because of the rivalry and the emotional piece that's on the field, especially when it comes down to these two teams.
Do you think Marshawn Lynch is going to be a factor in this game?
I think he will. He should be playing tonight. Should be healthy. But again, it's a matter of, can the O-line give him the time and create the holes for him to go through?
Okay.
He's only human, and no matter what, no matter how much he can run, there's still got to be a spot for him to go, no matter how small it is.
So do you think Marshawn Lynch is a good cutting back, or do you think he's a good north and south? I mean, because that seems to be, yeah.
He's a pure north-south runner. I mean, now he's got the ability to, because of the wide stance he has, it really throws off the defense.
Yeah.
Because he has such a unique running style that he does. He has such a wide base. I mean, he can go left and right, but he is more of a north-south runner, because you could pack 6 people on him and he's still pushing north. So.
Okay, so what do you think the game plan for the Seahawks is going to be tonight? I mean, as far as pass rush on the offense, you think that they're going to attack more on the pass, or are you going to? What do you think on that?
I don't know. I haven't really been paying too much attention to San Francisco this season and what they've got for a running back. But I know, knowing Seattle pass rush, and stopping that pass rush, keeping Kaepernick contained, because Kaepernick is still a deadly weapon if he gets on the outside and runs. He ain't no Russell Wilson, bro, but he's still freaking still dangerous.
Okay.
So they've got to keep him contained.
Okay.
So,
all right. Well, good.
I mean, that's the ultimate of Seattle's defense, is keeping everything contained and being able to cover that secondary.
Yeah.
But they've got to be able to do it for 4 quarters.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. Excellent. Well, I appreciate your time, Ragin Eskimo. Thank you very much for your analysis on the Seahawks and this game that's going to be going on. I know that you are a very busy man. Thank you for taking the time out of your schedule to be here with us this morning. I do appreciate it. Any final thoughts that you want to say about tonight's game or anything like that?
No, other than go Hawks.
All right, buddy. Thank you very much. And we'll be talking to you soon, all right? You stay safe out there.
All right, take care, buddy.
All right. Have a great day. All right.
Disconnected.
All right. So you hear it first from HNR here, our own live discussion on what's going to happen tonight on Thursday Night Football. I am a little bit biased because I am a Seahawks fan. That's why I wanted to bring it up. It's been an interesting year with the Seahawks. I don't know. I just don't know what's going on. Now, right now, I'm going to switch over to the hearings. Yes, that's right. The House Committee on Benghazi with Hillary Clinton. We do have a little bit of a live broadcast. I'm going to put it up here. It's on the Wall Street Journal. Let's listen to what the Honorable, I guess that's what you would say, Mrs. Hillary Clinton
and the like. At the end of the day, this was the president's decision, and all of us
nice. Turf it off on the president.
Our views. I did not favor it until I had done, as I said, the due diligence, speaking with not just people within our government and within the governments of all of the other nations who were urging us to assist them, but also meeting in person with the gentleman who had assumed a lead role in the Transitional National Council. So it is, of course, fair to say this was a difficult decision. I wouldn't sit here and say otherwise, and there were varying points of view about it. But at the end of the day, in large measure, because of the strong appeals from our European allies, the Arab League passing a resolution urging that the United States and NATO join with them, those were unprecedented requests. And we did decide, in recommending to the president, that there was a way to do it. The president, I think, very clearly had a limited instruction about how to proceed. And the first planes that flew were French planes. And I think what the United States provided was some of our unique capacity. But the bulk of the work militarily was done by Europeans and Arabs.
Well, I think you're underselling yourself. You got the State Department on board. You convinced the president. You overcame the objections of Vice President Biden and Secretary of Defense Gates, the National Security Council, and you had another obstacle then, and that was the United Nations. And you were able to persuade the Russians, of all things, to abstain. And had you not been successful in arguing that abstention, the Security Council Resolution 1973 wouldn't have passed because the Russians had a veto. So you overcame that obstacle as well. Isn't that right?
Well, Congressman, it is right that after doing my due diligence and reviewing the various options and the potential consequences of pursuing each of them, I was in favor of the United States joining with our European allies and our Arab partners, and I also was in favor of obtaining UN Security Council support because I thought that would provide greater legitimacy. In that, of course, our ambassador to the UN was very influential and successful in making the case to her colleagues. But this was at the behest of and the direction of the president once he was presented with the varying arguments.
And you presented
Congressman,
the argument.
I have been in a number of Situation Room discussions. I remember very well the very intense conversation over whether or not to launch the Navy SEALs against the compound we thought in Abbottabad that might house bin Laden. There was a split in the advisors around the president. Eventually, the president makes the decision. I supported doing what we could to support our European and Arab partners in their effort on a humanitarian basis, a strategic basis, to prevent Gaddafi from launching.
All right, so we've seen we've seen a little bit of the opening statements and that kind of stuff. I think it's going to be an interesting, very interesting kind of situation with this whole hearing. Now, I don't know what their point of doing this whole thing is. I mean, it is what it is. It happened. It was a darn crying shame to lose those American lives, those brave American lives in Benghazi. But I just, I don't know what the whole point of this is. And the truth is it's almost like they're trying to sabotage her presidential campaign. Now, am I a Hillary supporter? No, I'm not really a big supporter of anybody that's running right now. I'm not happy with any side of it, but I think it's going to be interesting to see this play out. And we didn't really get a lot to the meat on that one. It's still early in the hearing. They just finished the opening arguments. I will probably try and do another reaction later on today with some thoughts about what was said and that kind of thing. But I truly hope that things do come out, because I think that there's a lot of stuff that's not being said, and this whole private email thing I think is going to be really interesting. Anyways, thank you for being here. If you are new to HNR, be sure to like, share, and subscribe. We're going to be talking about a little bit of dance right now. If you've missed any part of the beginning part of this here stream, be sure to scroll back and watch the live commentary with my good friend Ragin Eskimo. Like I said before, he is the guru as far as the Seahawks come, and he has probably forgotten more than I will ever know. Let's go ahead and move on to some requests as far as dancing. Now, Rita A.T. Yahia, I'm sure I just slaughtered that name, made a request for us to watch Larry versus Sayla at GS Fusion Concept World Final. And guess what? We got it. We got the info. Here we go. Let's watch this. Larry of the Twins versus Sayla. Here we go.
Let me break down who we are and what we're about, motherfuckers. Listen, yo, it's CT and this bitch come to raise the roof. Got the game on lock like it's pay-per-view. Here to take the title from your favorite crew, man. The rhyme style wiggle like a baby tooth. We got Ass of the Damage from White Dice to the Titan. Deadline, a sex virus, a man in the super violent, derogatory, the glorious. I ain't predict the formula. Tactical thinking, what the whole world is all. I mean, really when I rip it, I'm blow the fuck up. Yeah, school I was known as a token dumb fuck. These days I'm
wow. Always good with the Twins. Wow. Nice. Ooh, sexy man splits. What was that? That was like an Aliens moment. Wow. Get it, Larry. Wow. Look at him working with the music. Wow. Wow. I like his handwork. That's some slick hat work. Nice. Wow.
Est-ce que vous pouvez applaudir un petit peu? C'est ça.
Wow.
C'est ça.
Let's see who wins. Are they going to do the winner?
Oui. Oui, oui, c'est ça. Vous avez le droit des combis.
What is that lady wearing?
Si, si, si. Si, si, c'est ça. C'est
C'est pour ça que le binôme est là, d'ailleurs.
Allô? Ah, j'ai dit allô. Allô?
That hurts.
Ok. Judges. Judges, are you ready?
On prend le temps, tranquille. C'est bon. Russe, c'est bon?
Ok. 3, 2, 1. Larry.
Larry en finale.
Larry of the Twins.
Maximum de bruit.
Larry of the Twins wins. Yeah. Excellent. Excellent. Wonder when his partner's ever going to join in. It was just a head-to-head competition there, Rain. Oh, my goodness. You got Larry taking another win. Why do we ever get surprised? All right, ladies and gentlemen. So we got Shiro Neko asked, if you want to see kids dancing, watch Phoenix Little Mini versus Turfer Girl. So we're going to watch that right now. We're going to highlight some of today's best mini dancers because they deserve to be seen. Bam, there we go. This one's on Turf Inc. Turf Inc. This is Phoenix Little Mini versus Turfer Girl. Watch some of the stuff these kids are doing. It's just absolutely unbelievable. It's going to be a great, great future of dance when you got kids like this already dancing on this level. So let's go ahead and watch it right now. This is Phoenix Little Mini.
All the way from Sacramento, y'all. All the way from Sacramento.
Wow. Look at the skill coming out of this girl. She's probably, what, 8 or 9? Yeah, I like what I see. Wow. Wow. Man. Look at what this kid is doing. You see people that are like bigger names not even able to do this well. Can you imagine what she's going to be like when she gets a little bit older? And keeps adding stuff to her repertoire? Wow. All right, it's Turfer Girl.
Let's go, Hot Beats. Yo, shout out to
Yeah.
Hot Beats holding down at the DJ booth, y'all.
Yeah,
One, two,
yeah.
three, yo, give it up for Hot Beats. One time for the love. Come on, y'all. Without music, I don't know. Let's go.
Wow.
Let's go.
It's pretty intense. Good dancing there, too. Wow. That's a pretty impressive move. You know, Little Phoenix, in my opinion, has had some smoother handwork. But Turfer Girl, she's not too bad either. I think Little Phoenix has got it so far, in my opinion. Need to see something a little more spectacular out of Turfer Girl. It just seemed like her dances were a little more smooth and crisp. Some cool stuff there. She's got skills. Wow. I don't know. It just seems like Turfer Girl doesn't have a flow going, combining all her moves together. There's some cool moves in there.
She's probably like the only Turfer Girl dancer out there. Let's go, Phoenix.
Whoa. Wow. That little girl is pretty sick. Wow. Wow. I wonder how much her injured wrist is affecting some of the stuff she does on the ground. Like she's not doing it. Wow.
Yo, give it up for both ladies, y'all. Yo, give it up for...
Wow. Wow. That was sick. That was sick. That was awesome. Wow. Yeah, she smothered that. She smothered her. Yep. That was pretty good. I like it a lot. All right. Let's stop being so crazy here. Oh my goodness. All right, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for watching today. I hope you enjoyed the stream. I will be back later on today with some more stream, either gaming, maybe talking about the Benghazi hearings. We're going to have a lot of fun here at HNR today. I sure do appreciate every one of you joining, all the comments, the involvement. Rain, it's always good to have you in the comments, my friend, my brother from another mother. It has been awesome today. Once again, it's a nice, balmy, cool day here in Montana. So I'm going to try and stay warm where you're at. If you're cold, stay warm. If you're hot, stay cool. But once again, always remember, you have a place here on HNR. We love hearing from you. We love talking to you. Keep sending in those ideas. Keep giving us those comments. We will keep interacting with you because that's what we do here at HNR. Have a great day. God bless. On behalf of Rain and myself, this has been Hondo. What are you gonna do?